How's it going, everybody? My name is Sinikle, and welcome back to Higurashi, When They Cry. So, quite a bit happened last video. I won't get into it, but if you want to watch it, and if you haven't watched the previous videos leading up to this one here, there is a link to the playlist in the description box down below, so go ahead and check it out. But without further ado, let's go ahead and continue from where we last left off. Clouds covered the sky, and it suddenly grew cool. It was going to rain a bit. According to Okanogi's intuition, he already knew that their enemy had broken through the blockade, but he hadn't told Takano about it. Oh, well, hey, why not there, buddy boy? By then, it really didn't make any difference if she knew or not, and he also wanted to reach the top of the mountain. Ambition, I like it. You have goals, and you want to reach the mountaintop. Yes. Okay, anyways. Okanogi was only thinking about one thing. He was thinking about the enemy's commander, who made the day so horrible for him. He just couldn't accept his defeat until he saw the enemy's commander face to face. Well, you're going to be a little bit disappointed there, but hey. Go fuck yourself, I guess. The battle was already lost. They just had a princess who didn't think they had yet. With the rest of the mountain dogs fallen to the traps and ambushes, Okanogi had ordered all units except his own to fall back from the front line and into the vehicle. The only ones left to go on were the very determined Princess Okanogi himself, and a handful of exhausted members of the mountain dogs who could barely walk. Damn, they're really trudging through, huh? Alright. Eventually, the slope became a little more gentle. Okanogi and his companions finally arrived at the storage shack of the Forest Service. The club members were already aware that the mountain dogs had been almost totally annihilated. Both the numbers and strength of the dogs had fallen far below that of the club members. Therefore, when Okanogi saw his opponents lined up there to welcome them, he wasn't surprised. Wait, what? Seriously? It was all the kids who'd driven the mountain dogs to destruction that entire day. They had also fought with everything they had. Though they overwhelmed us from the start to finish, they had used up all their stamina, and were on their last legs as well. Still, their willpower kept them standing. A will born of the victor's honor, which God granted only to the winners.
Sansa, よくもこんなざまの我々をこき使えるもんです。
何？私に逆らう気なの？
まさか逆らう気なんか最初からありませんやね。
Okay there, buddy. Getting a little creepy. Hey, boy. Okanogi removed his communication unit, his taser, and all the heavy equipment he had been carrying. Then he unbuttoned his shirt and told his men to stay put as he stepped forward. Okay, this is getting creepy, actually. What the fuck is he up to? What's he doing? He strode forward, about half the distance toward the club members.
山犬の大鳥ワンコとおこのぎだ。お前らのリーダーに敬意を表する。名前を聞かせてくれ。
The club members looked at each other. One of them was a girl taller than the others. She couldn't be that old, but her hawk-like eyes were as sharp as a veteran soldier's. Okanogi didn't know her circumstances, but only those whose lives were threatened on a daily basis had eyes like that. Oh my god, this is so funny. Yeah, sure.
部長、園崎美音。
Oh shit. The girl stepped forward.
いくつだ？いや、年齢なんてどうでもいい。
Why ask?
朝からの沖宮署での騒ぎからこの山での戦いまで、すべてお前の指揮なのか？
The girl didn't answer, but her silence confirmed it more strongly than anything she could have said.
この戦はお前らの勝ちだ。まだ負けてねえと思ってるのはうちのお姫様だけさ。もう今さらどうにもならねえ。富武は封鎖線を突破。沖宮にすでに到着して東京に連絡を取っただろう。鎮圧部隊がいつここにやってくるか知らねえが、それも時間の問題だ。笑いたきゃ笑え。爪ってやつさ。
おこのぎ、何をやってるの？その女は敵のリーダーよ。倒しなさい。
お姫様が何か言ってるが気にするな。
望みは何？
お前も大将、俺も大将だ。わかるな。
あいつ降参したんじゃないのか？
レナにはわかる。あの人は今日敵の指揮をしていたんだよ。そして部下がみんなやられた。だから「はいそうですか」って言って負けを認めるわけにはいかないの。
我が身を犠牲にしてしか敗軍の将は見そげないというのですか？
いいよ。あんたが納得するようにすればいい。
感謝するぜ。
Mion took a stance. Okanogi took a stance too. Although Okanogi was nothing like Akasaka, he was still a close combat specialist. Even when exhausted, there was no way Mion could defeat him. Takano thought so as well. She thought Mion was underestimating Okanogi. But Mion knew. She knew that she was the only one who could put him at ease.
行くぜ。
Okanogi readied, launched sharp from his waist. But Mion deflected it to the side with her elbow, wrapped her arm around underneath it, wrenching it back behind him and forced it up into a hold. And then she twisted his arm even further. Okanogi was certain she was going to snap a bone. It was an excellent technique. She took his arm in one flowing motion. It was clear that Mion's self-defense techniques weren't spur of the moment. However, she didn't break Okanogi's arm, but instead threw him into the ground. She didn't deliver the final blow, but rather chose to look down on him. Oh my god.
やるな。
おこのぎ、何やってるの？早く制圧しなさい。
うるせえ！黙ってみてよ！こいつは大将戦だ！
So serious. This is so funny. Okanogi got up quickly, took a stance once again, and then swung his arm down. But Mion avoided it effortlessly, and just like she did before, she grabbed his arm and turned it around. They were in the same position as before. And just like what happened then, she didn't break his arm, but threw him onto the ground and looked down on him.
回転投げか。当て身を入れねえところを見ると実戦向きじゃねえな。むしろお上品に演武を見せる流派ってとこか。ちなみに腕を決めたとき、下がる相手の顔面に膝が入れられるぜ。
そうなんだ。今度試してみるよ。
ミオンってすげえ。向こうの隊長と互角に渡り合ってるぞ。
木、武器を使いなさい。何をやってるの？
行くぞ！キャー！
He had a stronger drive this time. He tried to kick right through her from a step and half away. Yet, this time Mion stepped in to launch her own attack, jumping right towards the foot, trying hard to kick her. Mion kept herself low as she entered close range with Okanogi, shutting out his leg, trying to kick her. So of course, he went after her head. Okanogi raised his right arm to elbow her in the skull, but this time Mion rose up, using both hands to keep his arm from swinging down. Unlike the flowing motions from earlier, this was simply a contest of strength. His physique was overwhelmingly superior to hers, so she couldn't win that test of strength. But suddenly, Mion let go and allowed Okanogi's elbow to come down. Then she stepped to the side. It's another repeat from before. Okanogi's arm was held to his back, and he ended up in the same position. But what came after was different. Okanogi's face lowered as Mion lifted his arm up high, and then she swiftly brought her knee into his face. It was exactly the technique that Okanogi told her about just earlier. And once again, she was down. He was down on the ground.
そうだ。飲み込みが早いじゃねえか。おめえ、戦略、戦術、そして戦闘、すべて三拍子揃ってるぜ。おめえみてえな奴が俺の役をやるべきなんだよ。山犬みてえなクソどもの隊長をな。
ごめんだね。あんたらみたいなネクラそうな秘密部隊の隊長なんて。
Mion scoffed. Okanogi took it with a smile too. He wasn't trying to be humble. It was just his pure reaction.
そうだな。お前ほどの器なら、日本の不正規戦部隊長なんてもったいないぜ。サスでもデルタでもスペツナズでも、どこでも最高の人材になれるだろうぜ。何しろ。
サス？デルタフォース？くだらないね。そんな退屈なところじゃ、私を飼いならせやしないよ。
そうだろうな。そうだろうよ。なら聞かせてくれ。お前ほどのやつなら何の隊長を望む？
隊長なんて興味ないね。部長でいいね。
部長、英国情報部あたりってとこか。妥当だな。
ダメダメダメ。あのね、
Sorry.
私がやりたい部長はたった一つ。Hinamizawa分校の我が部の部長だけさ。罰ゲームのない戦いなんてごめんだね。口先の魔術師前原圭一、カーイーモードの竜宮レナ、トラップ使いの里子に萌え落としのリカちゃん、そして期待の新人フルデ羽生。これだけ揃ってなけりゃ世界のどこだろうと退屈だね。
勝てねえ。勝てねえよ。こんな奴が隊長だったんじゃ勝てるわけねえやね。
Oh my god. What is this? Oh my god, he's literally gone insane. He snapped, y'all. He's crazy.
しっかりなさい。
Takano yelled at him, but Okanogi didn't hear it.
これでウォーミングアップはいいだろう。次の一撃でぶち抜いてやるぜ。当たったら死ぬぞ。覚悟しな。
キナ、あんたに似合いの最後をくれてやるよ。あんたが欲しいと思ってる決定的な最後をくれてやるよ。
よく言ってくれた。 よく言ってくれたぜ。
Okunogi took about 5 steps backwards and breathed deep. His body twisted as he gathered all his spirit into his right fist. Just as he said, this next attack would be for real. He was putting everything he had into this one final blow. Mion narrowed her eyes, preparing to parry the blow with her side. The sky began to stir. They both felt raindrops on their foreheads.
行くぜ。殺すからな。殺しに来いよ。
あんたのお祈りが済んだらいつでも来な。
That one tense moment was suddenly brought to an end. He dashed forward from a low position, but like a runner from a starting line. Then he added the twist from his body into the blow, as his right arm roared with all his power. A bolt of lightning punctuated that moment in time, burning the moment into our eyes. In that moment, Mion's stance hadn't changed at all. No, maybe she moved like lightning in the moment it struck. We had to recall the moment burned into our eyes to review the scene. Okunogi had swung with his right fist, which had enough power to shatter Mion's bones. Okay, there, fucking champ. So what if 100% of his power was directed back at him in a counterattack? When the lightning struck, Okunogi's body had been flying through the air. It was a legendary attack, technique in Japanese martial arts, passed down in Judo and Aikido. Aikido? Yeah. The airflow. It looks as if one is being thrown without his opponent even touching him. A miraculous technique that occurs at lightning speed. Of all the techniques Mion possessed, it was the most sublime, advanced technique she could administer on the defeated General Okunogi. The feeling of freedom while flying in the air is more memorable than the impact of hitting the ground, supposedly. Oh shit, it's raining. When Okunogi hit the ground behind Mion, a heavy rain suddenly began to fall. Oh shit! Well, hello! And just as it did, a massive helicopter appeared from the other side of the mountain. The helicopter's rotors stirred up the air and blew away the raindrops like a tornado. The rotor sounded much like a tornado, too. A rope uncoiled from the rear of the helicopter, and soldiers came sliding down, one after another. The onlookers were stunned for a moment before realizing what they were seeing. It was the Blue Hounds. The Blue Hounds that Tamataki had called in. Having realized how bad the situation had become, Okunogi returned to the other members of the Mountain Dogs. Nothing was going their way anymore. The Mountain Dogs ran down the slope and disappeared into the woods. They ran away. Oh, that's funny. They dragged Takano with them, but couldn't understand what was going on. A voice echoed from a speaker attached to another helicopter circling around the mountain.
入江機関の全職員に次ぐ本日一蓋302入江機関の全権限は凍結され上級司令部の直轄となった。また同時刻上級司令部は入江機関全職員の武装解除を命じた。山犬中隊全隊員は直ちに武装解除し入江診療所裏駐車場もしくは山頂資材置き場に集合せよ。これに応じない場合国内法及び自衛隊法に基づき厳正に対処することをここに通告する。
Oh shit. Well, get fucked. Bloodhound members continued to slide down the rope from the helicopter. Even at a glance, they were very different from the mountain dogs. They were armed more heavily, and the guns they had were much larger. Such things clearly differentiated the two units.
これで私たちの勝ちですの？わかりませんのです。僕も初めてのことなので、勝ったのかわからないのです。
Satoko and Rika sat down and hugged each other. They were both soaked in rain, but they still sat down in the mud. Mion stood solemnly in the rain. As the leader of the winning team, the mountain dogs had abandoned the field. They all ran away, with their tails between their legs. Keiichi and Rena ran over to Mion.
ミオン、
みーちゃん、
終わったね。
ああ、これで部活は終わりさ。
リカちゃんも無事、みんなも無事。みーちゃん、勝ち取れる最高の勝利を勝ち取ったんだよ。
ミオンがみんなを率いたんだ。ミオンのおかげの勝利さ。
But Mion didn't seem to be listening to Keiichi and Rena. Instead, she mumbled to herself.
私さ、部活の罰ゲームって好きなんだよね。部活ってさ、残酷だよね。仲間で戦い合ってさ、ビリを、つまりそれは、その子がビリだってみんなが見下すことなんだよね。
That was cut off a little bit.
見下してなんかいねえだろ。楽しく罰ゲームをして、それでおしまいさ。
そう。罰ゲームで楽しく遊んで、それで終わり。敗戦の賞の責任をさ、楽しくみんなで笑って、それでチャラにできるから好きなんだよね。負けた本人も含めて、みんなで笑って。
誰も傷つかない。みんなで楽しく笑って、おしまいにできる。
おこのぎってやつは、私に投げ飛ばされて、叩きのめされなきゃ、自分の罪がさ。そりゃさ、今日何度もヤバい目にあったよ。殺されそうに何度もなったよ。でもさ、もう終わりでしょ？ゲームセットなんだよ。なのに、彼らにはチャラにする罰ゲームがないんだね。
Mion might have realized something when she threw Okanogi. Keiichi didn't think anybody else could understand that.
ミオンが何を言ってるのかわからねえよ。もう忘れろ。あいつらはもう終わりさ。
そうだね。これでもうすべて。
みんな生きてる。誰も怪我してない。今は最高のハッピーエンドを喜ぼうよ。
そうだな。誰もやられなかった。最高のハッピーエンドじゃねえか。
While they hadn't yet confirmed Shion and Kasai's safety, they were correct. This was the happy ending that they had all been fighting for. However, Mion was still thinking. She only understood the reason for that in the moment of the thunderstruck. But as soon as the flash of the lightning disappeared, her understanding vanished as well. All she could remember was that she noticed something very important, and that shortly after she completely forgot about it. She could only feel a great sense of loss. The bloodhounds soon surrounded the club members. At first, they thought the club members were their enemies, but when Tamatake appeared, he explained the whole situation. The commander of the bloodhounds appeared to beg the club members not to say a word about anything, as if it was a politically sensitive incident. It was amusing to see a man like that beg while carrying all these weapons. Of course, they had no intention of talking to anyone about it. Once it had ended, it all felt like a bad dream. If, on the following day, someone asked them what they had been doing, they might not even remember it. This day was that unrealistic for them. So even if they were asked, they wouldn't say a word.
リカちゃん、無事でよかった。
赤坂、無事でよかったのです。み
こっちも大成功だったよ。そっちもみんな無事かい？入江診療所はすでに彼らが制圧したそうだよ。山犬の隊員たちも続々と投降に応じてる。隠れていた入江先生ともう一人の少年も彼らに保護されたそうだよ。
監督も無事ですのね。よかったですわ。少年？はて、どなたでございましょうね。富田さんか岡村さんあたりが巻き込まれて怪我でもしたのかしら。さとこ、本当によかったのです。
Rika's smile made it clear and what she had gone through. Someone could only smile like that after a long and exhausting struggle. Satoko had no idea what that smile meant. How much time would be needed to make her understand? Still, Eri will do something about it. For certain, he will bring Satoko's Nini back home.
そうだ、さとこ。今日のお注射をしていないのではないですか？お注射をしないとダメなのです。あ、そうでしたわね。こんな時にも注射をやめちゃいけないなんて面倒な話ですこと。
Satoko seemed to have no idea that her medication was connected to the syndrome. Perhaps she was already aware, but pretended not to be. Rika vowed to herself that no matter how long it took, she was going to witness with her own eyes the moment her best friend finally parted with her tragic past.
このお注射も日に2回で助かりますわよね。以前の3回の時は本当に大変でしたわ。
Satoko also had no idea that Satoshi was involved in the development of her medication. Eri had said that Satoshi, as a specimen, had contributed much to Satoko's treatment. Even while asleep, Satoshi longed to ease the burden on Satoko, and those feelings must have influenced Satoko's medicine somehow. Satoko had to inject herself in the stomach. For privacy, she ran into the grove of trees to give herself a shot. There was no danger in her doing so. One after another, the bloodhounds dropped down from the helicopters. Each helicopter must have carried at least 20 or 30 soldiers. God damn. There was one helicopter at the top of the mountain, and two more halfway down the slope. Troops were pouring down from all of them, leading to the impression that the entire mountain was under the bloodhounds' control. Nobody fired their weapons even once. The mountain dogs had no choice but to surrender. It wasn't raining hard at all. The sky should clear up after 20 or 30 minutes or so. It was the volatile weather typical of early summer. Satoko soon returned, and spoke to her best friend.
リカ、羽生さんの姿が見えませんわね。さっきまで一緒にいましたのに。羽生、どこ？
That is a good point. Where is she? It was stupid of me to think that Tokyo had sent more support. They are acting as if they've known of their loss for a while now. Wait, whose perspective are we in? Takano's? Huh. I was the only one who didn't know.
どういうことなの？
I guess we are.
状況がさっぱりわからないわよ、おこのぎ。
手詰まりってやつです。富武が呼んだ番犬が到着したんですよ。
番犬名前は聞いたことあるけど、でも山犬と似たようなものでしょ。どうして応戦しないのよ。
ご冗談は。山犬は所詮傍聴部隊です。対して番犬は本間門の戦闘部隊ですわ。花から勝ち目なんざありませんね。
The remaining three members looked at me in exhaustion.
大体どうして番犬が来るのよ。
Oh, wait, no, we're in Okanogi's perspective. Oh, interesting. Alright.
富武は捕まえてるのにどうして。他にスパイがいるんじゃないの。それは誰よ。
三さ、すでに診療所が襲撃され、富武2位が奪い返されたことはご存知ないのですか。
One of the three spoke up timidly, but Okanogi signaled him to shut up.
そんなの聞いてないわよ。それはいつよ。どうなってるの、このぎ。それに村から逃げられないよう封鎖部隊というのもいるんでしょ。
They aren't even responding to me anymore. I've been left behind. Okay, no, we are in talking. Oh, I'm so confused. Alright, we are in Takano's perspective. Okay, understood. Jesus. I'm the only one who didn't know. I'm being left out. The members looked at Okanogi, waiting for his command. Nobody is waiting for my order. Nobody even cares about my orders.
隊長、指揮者より無線です。
One of the members handed the intercom to Okanogi.
大鳥ワンダー。
隊長、各校より最終連絡です。各校を実行せよ。
Oh. Oh, what does this mean here? What the fuck?
各校了解した。
Who's getting cucked?
指揮者を番犬が包囲
Who's
中で
getting
す。
cucked?
投降を勧告しています。いかがしますか。
指揮者。いや、太田、足立、ご苦労だったな。投降を許可する。武装解除して以後は番犬の指示に従え。
That's smart. Good.
指揮者了解。
各員その場で聞け。指揮者が制圧された。すでに診療所も制圧されているだろう。我々は全てのバックアップと装備を失った。全班は壊滅。個々の隊員たちも武装解除に応じているだろう。山犬の完全敗北だ。
まだよ。なんとか東京の野村さんに連絡を取るのよ。番犬が何よ。番犬に匹敵する部隊を送り込んでくれるわ。R は生きていたのよ。終末作戦の実行は可能だわ。それをすぐに野村さんに連絡しないと。そのためにはまず東京への連絡手段を取り返すことが重要よ。こうなると村の連絡網を遮断したのが裏目に出るわね。指揮者を奪還するしかないわ。指揮者の無線で東京に連絡して応援を呼ぶのよ。幸い指揮者は今あっさり降伏してみせたから奴らも油断してるはず。おこのぎと3人も隊員がいれば十分可能よ。まだ6月19日。作戦開始は21日22日だったかしら。まだ間に合う。まだまだ間に合う。ここから巻き返すわよ、おこのぎ。すぐに指揮者の奪還を実行しなさい。なんで誰も私の言うことを聞けないの。
Don't you get it? You've lost!
私は3歳よ。
No!
おこのぎよりずっと偉いのよ。
Not anymore!
おこのぎの言うことは聞けて、どうして私の言うことが聞けないの。
サンサー、さっきから飛び回ってるヘリが言う通りですわ。このゲームはうちらの負けです。 これ以上の往生際の悪さは互いに得になりませんね。
何を言うの、おこのぎ。まだよ。もうくじけるの？あなたも R が生きているのを見たでしょ？今日の一日がおかしくなったのは R が死んだなんて噂が流れたからよ。でも R は生きていた。今日の一日はなかったことになるのよ。緊急マニュアルはまだ生きているわ。女王感染者が生きている以上、改めて殺せばそこから48時間の緊急マニュアル執行可能な時間が。
サンサ、緊急マニュアルがどうこうって次元じゃもうないんですよ。もう東京は女王感染者とか、それが死んだら48時間とか、もうどうでもいいんです。終末作戦は完全に失敗しました。我々のクライアントはすでに証拠の隠滅に走り回っているでしょう。我々の役目ももうおしまいですわ。山犬なんて面白い舞台を10年ほど指揮させてもらいました。貴重な経験ができましたわ。それも今日でおしまいです。そしてサンサ、あんたの役割ももうおしまいです。
私の役割？何のことよ？
サンサ、あんたの役目はその手に持っておられるスクラップ帳を育て上げることでした。
何の話よ
I didn't expect Okanogi to start talking about my grandfather's scrapbook.
hinamizawa症候群って病気があることは疑いません。だが女王が死ぬと48時間で村中が大パニックになるってのは見た者がいません。本当か嘘かなんて分かりゃしないんですよ。
バカなこと言わないで。ほら、書いてあるわよ。どこのページかしら。他の類似の脳内寄生虫症の症例から類推して統計的にどこよ、こんな時に限って。
That lasted a little bit longer than I expected. I flipped through the pages of the scrapbook in a panic. I can't even remember which page I'm looking for. Okanogi slapped the scrapbook aside, and it thudded. No, it landed in a muddy puddle, so it splashed onto the ground. The open pages of the scrapbook were facing down in the muddy water. Water? Water. And already turning color as they soaked up the mud.
何をするの？これは大切な。
As I crouched down to pick up the scrapbook, Okanogi stepped on it. Oof. The splash of muddy water hit me in the face. I had to witness my precious scrapbook being stepped on and covered in filth.
サンサ、このスクラップに書いてあることが本当だろうとでっち上げだろうとどうでもいいことなんですね。真実だろうと虚偽だろうと実は誰も気にしてませんのですわ。
それはどういう意味よ。
I tried to get the scrapbook from under Okanogi's foot, but I couldn't pull it out.
東京のクライアントが期待してたのはそのスクラップ帳の中身をどれだけの人間が信じてくれるかってことなんです。本当か嘘かはどうでもいい。ただ信憑性さえありゃよかったんです。
本当か嘘かどうでもいい。
そうです。どっちでもいいんです。でっかい研究所で偉い先生方が研究してこれこれこういう結果ですっていう専門用語だらけの難しい資料を作ってくれて中身などろくにわからねえ連中を騙せるだけの信憑性ってやつをそのスクラップ帳に与えることが あんたの役割だったんです。
嘘なんかじゃないわ。私と祖父が何年にもわたって研究してきて、足をどけなさいよ。
The scrapbook is getting soaked through. I'm trying my best so that it's not ruined, but it's no use.
女王が死んだら村は皆殺し。そういうとんでもない話をお偉方に納得させられりゃよかったんです。Hinamizawa症候群が脳みそに寄生してどうこうとか、んなことは誰も興味ない。政治的アクションに使えるかどうかにしか興味がなかった。んなことはあんただって十分承知していたでしょうが。そして、今や誰もこんなインチキスクラップは信じやしません。このスクラップ帳に大勢がかけた。そして負けたんですわ。山犬もこのスクラップ帳に熱く張って負けた。それだけのことですんね。
インチキスクラップなんかじゃない。これは真実なのよ。全部真実。おじいちゃんが調べて、私が調べて、そして書き上げてきた真実の研究結果なのよ。だってみんな信じてくれた。だからあんな立派な研究所を作ってくれたのよ。信じてくれたから、みんなそう、野村さんだって。だからこそ私に声をかけてくれたのよ。この研究の進化を分かってくれるクライアントはきっと他にだっているわ。だってこの研究は人類の未来の可能性に。
Okunogi got fed up and kicked me. I don't weigh much, so I fell backwards and became soaked in the muddy water. Okunogi walked over and looked down at me.
幸いなことに、東京のクライアントも、そしてうちらも、三叉にまだ期待している役割があるんですわ。おい。
One of the mountain dogs handed a gun to Okunogi. Okunogi checked the cylinder and then threw it over to me.
何よこれ。
三叉、そいつで自分の頭ぶち抜いてくれませんか。
Oh boy. Okay, whoa. Jesus Christ. Shit just got fucking real. I looked at the gun. I'm used to seeing guns working at the Erie Institute as I do. I was never frightened by guns before. But for the first time, I feel scared just looking at one.
よくあるやつですわ。トカゲの尻尾ってやつです。三叉、敗軍の将の責任ってやつで、そいつで自分の頭ぶち抜いてください。
Oh my god, Hitler style.
そんな。
Nobody was ever told me to die before. Has told me to die before. Nobody has ever told me to kill myself.
クライアントもうちらも、三叉が死んでくれりゃ、三叉があることないことやってくれたってことで。
Jesus Christ. Telling her to kill herself so they can use her as a scapegoat for this whole thing. She's the one to blame. It's all her fault. Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
すでに東京はその準備に入ってますね。
So that's Plan Cuckoo, huh?
他のこと言わないで。そんなこと。
We're cooking you and your life. My ears are violated. I'm starting to sob. My body is shaking all over.
まあ、無理ならいいんです。今のあんたにそこまで求めるのは酷でしょう。
Okunogi pulled his gun out and pointed it at me. Oh, shit. The other members, having realized everything will work out if I die, just looked at me coldly.
投降を説得するも、頑くなに拒否し、 抵抗。銃撃戦になり、やむなく射殺。そっちが本当の筋書きなんです。自殺用の銃は、短くない時間、世話になったことへの俺なりの気遣いだったつもりです。
そんな筋書き嫌よ。嫌よ、嫌。そんなの誰が考えたのよ。
あんたがさっきから助けを求めたいって言って
I knew it!
東京の野村さんです。終末作戦が失敗した時に備え、ダメージコントロールを図る作戦ってのも、ちゃんと合わせて用意してあったんです。野村さんの暗号名は、カッコウ。そして、サンサの暗号名は、ヒナでしたね。カッコウが卵をどこに産むかご存知ですか？
そんな。
カッコウの卵は、よその鳥の巣に産みつけられ、そこから帰ったカッコウはですね、もともとの巣のヒナを突き落として、巣を乗っ取っちまうんだそうです。
Jesus Christ.
巣から落ちた飛べないヒナは、地面でのたくり。まあ普通は、野犬や山犬に食われて殺されちまうってことですわ。
I used the money I got from Uncle Kayozumi and paid the mountain dogs, thinking I had gained a reliable ally. I always thought that, although Okinogi was barbaric, he was very reliable. But my nest had been taken over.
サンサ、あんたの味方なんていなかったんです。
Jesus.
あんたは、東京のクライアントが描いた絵の通り踊って、緊急マニュアルってやつを煽ってくれりゃそれで十分だったんですよ。ですが、その舞台も幕が降りて、あんたにステージから退場してもらおうってことになったってことですわ。ふん。それ。あんたの大好きなスクラップ長。そいつを左手に抱きながら、右手で銃を拾ってください。
The scrapbook was finally returned to me, covered in mud. I held it with both hands and cried. What a joke the entire life of Mio Takano was. Right now is when I should just go back inside that chain link fence. My shaking hands held the ice-cold gun.
弾は一発ですから慎重に。頭蓋骨は案外、弾を滑らすって話ですわ。口を開けてその中に撃つのがよくあるやり方です。ほら、銃を持って、構えて。
Jesus Christ!
そして、
Oh my god! In the hills of the mountain, a single gunshot echoed. With that gunshot, members of the Bloodhounds rushed in. Okinogi and the other men raised their hands in surrender.
高野三佐も一緒でしたが、どうしても投降は嫌だと渋りましてね。今の発砲は、三佐がこっちに銃を向けたんで撃った威嚇射撃です。
レトリバー7よりリーダー、おこのぎ2と山犬隊員3名を逮捕。高野三佐はこのすぐ近くを逃走中の模様。足跡が南西方向へ消えているが物資が濃い。それ以上の追跡は不能。 大至急応援を。高野三佐は武装している。繰り返す。高野三佐は武装している。
レトリーバーリーダーよりオール。重要手配犯の高野三佐が現在逃走中。高野三佐は武装している模様。逃走地点を中心にパトローリングで封殺せよ。
I'm running through the mountain, covered in dirt, and still holding the muddy scrapbook. I keep falling because of the mud, and branches and tree roots continue to torment me. I lost one of my shoes, so I decided to get rid of the other shoe too. This isn't the first time I've had to run like this. This isn't the first time I've ran barefoot. This isn't the first time I've felt such pain on the soles of my feet. This isn't the first time I've cried like this.
繰り返す。高野三佐、武装解除し投降せよ。逃げ場はない。山犬はすでに全員投降した。君に味方はいないぞ。
The helicopter above my head is calling out my name. I crawled into a hollow tree. I held my knees and hid. The last time I ran barefoot like this was a very long time ago. My feet are bloody and swollen, and I can no longer walk. I can only cry as I bite the corner of my scrapbook. Sadness and humiliation fight for dominance in my heart. While I feel sad, I cry, and when I feel humiliated, I scratch myself to calm my anger. And I still have the gun in my right hand, the one with a single bullet in it. I have to kill myself. My death is the only thing that can bring it all to an end. Killing myself is the only way to go back to that day. But when I look at the scrapbook in my left hand, I'm assaulted by sadness and fear.
死にたくない。死にたくないよ。
Just die. Atone for your actions with your death. I recall the look in Okinogi's eyes. I know I have committed sins. There are so many sins. Too many of them. There are more sins than I can possibly atone for. But do I have to die for them? I cried again, and then noticed someone standing nearby. Oh shit. It's the girl. The girl whom I met when I came to Hinamizawa when the Erie Institute was first opened. I met this girl at the shrine when I declared war on God. This girl is the god of this place. That god looked at me and sneered, rather than sympathizing.
それでもまだ人の身を捨て神の座を求めるというのか、人の子よ。
ずいぶん久しぶりね。負けよ。このゲームは私の負けよ。人の身の分際で神に挑戦した哀れな女の末路がこれ。
人の子よ、まだ神の座を追い求めるのか。数々の試練をまだくぐり、それでもなお神の座を求めるのか。
冗談じゃないわ。 神の座なんてもう無理じゃない。
人の子よ、聞け。今こそ神になる道を示そう。そなたの右手に持つ鉄の火で己が生に別れを告げるがいい。神の座に肉の器は不要。人にその姿を認められようなどと思ってはならぬ。神とは孤独な存在。それに好んでなりたがる愚かな人の子よ。それでもなお神の座を目指すというのか。
これで私の頭を打ち抜けっていうの？そんな簡単なことで、そんなにも簡単なことだったの？なら私は何？今まで何を積み上げてきたの？
大勢の人間の罪を背負った。その大勢の罪を今こそ己を生贄に捧げることで見そぐのだ。その勇気はたたえられ、神の座の末席を許すであろう。
何よそれ。私にトカゲの尻尾を引き受けて全員の責任を押し付けられて死ねと、そういうの？ふざけないで。そんなの嫌よ。絶対に嫌。
何故に嫌か。常に人の世で和を求めるためには、一つの汚れに一つの生贄がいる。それが人の世の断り、罪のみそぎの方法ではなかったのか。そなたの望む未来に一人の少女を生贄に求めたのは、それを理解していたからではなかったのか。
わかんない話はやめて。私には何のことかさっぱりわからないわ。
それがわからぬなら、所詮は人の身。神の座を求めた身の程知らずを食いよ。
食いるわ。他の人の責任をかぶって死ぬのが神になる道なんて絶対嫌。そんな神様になりたくない。私は人間でよかった。ただただ人間として生きていいよって、生きてもいいよって許し、それなのに
Sorry.
それなのになんでこんなことに。
ならば、この度の人の世の汚れをいかにして払うのか。いかにして代価を払うのか。
なんでよ。なんで誰かが責任を取らされなくちゃならないのよ。誰もが相手を利用してジョーカーを押し付け合って、自分の手を汚さずに済むように立ち回り、それが人の世なの？違う。だってお父さんやお母さんやおじいちゃんと生きてきた日々にはそんなのなかったもん。みんながみんな幸せだった。誰にもジョーカーなんか押し付けなかった。どうしてその世界から私はこぼれてしまったの？どうして私はこんな雨の山中を泥まみれになりながら一人でさまよってるの？私はどうしてこれが 私の罪に対する分かってた。うっすらと気づいてた。何か大切なものを間違えて、でもそれを認めたくなくて、取り返しがつかないところにまで来て初めて後悔した。自分の罪に対するこれが報いなのね。
人の世はそなたに罪のみそぎを求めるだろう。この度の汚れはそなたを生贄に捧げることで払われよう。それが人の世の払い方。なれど我は人にあらず、人を超える存在にして欠けたる輪を埋める存在、人の罪を許す存在。人の罪は人には許せぬ。我こそが人のこの罪を許そう。
I forgive you. Demanding a sacrifice to be paid for sins isn't the way of the human world. It's the way of demons. But this is not the world of man. This is a world of demons, created by man, and the demons infesting them. Humans cannot end that way of their world. So I became a god to grant that end. It was over 1,000 years of pain. I wanted to come down from this place. I desired a world where God doesn't need to make peace. And finally, after 1,000 years of time, I have found that fragment. Come, child of man. I will forgive your sins in my name. Kneel and repent. Ask for forgiveness. Then you shall receive it. God will forgive you. God will forgive your human sin. The god in the form of a little girl walked up to me and reached out. As I knelt and looked down, he touched my head. I heard voices in the distance, and then I saw a girl standing in front of me. She's one of Mion's club members, my most hated enemies. Shit, he's found me. The rain had already ceased. I decided to come out of the hollow tree. After the rain, it had grown so humid, I was starting to sweat all over. I'm soaked in sweat, mud, and rain. I feel filthy. I've been bitten by mosquitoes, and my body is itching all over. This is why I hate the mountains.
声を上げてはダメよ。
I pointed the gun at her. The girl just looked at me calmly, as if she didn't see it. At the very least, she did follow my order. What should I do? Should I take her as my hostage? I only have one bullet. How long can I keep running for?
羽生どこだよ。参ったな。
So
マ
wait,
ジで迷子だぞあいつ。
was what we just saw like... Huh? I'm a little confused. Was that like a inner, like, spiritual thing between the two? Or something? Huh. Okay.
見つけましたわ。羽生さん。羽生、一体今までどこへ。
本当に最後の最後までついてないわね。いや、あるいはついてるのかしら。最後の最後で一矢報いることができそうね。みんな、
Oh shit.
これが何かわかるわね。
I'm putting my hands up.
銃よ。
Oh my god, I see that.
身動きしちゃダメよ。
I'm not moving. I promise.
これで状況は逆転ね。
This is not a table. It's a desk, but sure. Whatever you say there, madam.
くそ
Don't do it.
なんてこと。
ミオンちゃん、他の誰かを撃たれたくなかったら一歩前に出なさい。
ダメだよ、みーちゃん。
Mion stepped forward quietly. She certainly has a lot of courage. No wonder she's their leader.
あなたのおかげで私はもうめちゃくちゃよ。私を殺そうとこの山中に怖いお兄さんたちが歩き回ってるわ。どうせ私は許されない。でもこのままではあまりに悔しいわ。だからね、せめてお返しをしてやりたいの。
偉そうに言ってるけど、その銃に弾が一発しかないのは知ってるぜ。
その通りよ。でもその一発でミオンちゃんが死んでしまうかもしれないとは考えない？
How did he know?
高野、ミーを撃つ気ですか？
誰も動いちゃダメよ。焦って撃ったら誰に当たるかわかんないんだから。
みんな動いちゃダメだよ。私の後ろに隠れてて。
勇敢ね。誰かを撃たれるくらいなら自分が撃たれようという自己犠牲？
まあね、拳銃の一発でそうそう人間くたばるもんじゃない。当たりどころにもよるだろうけどさ。
驚くわ。なんて勇気なの。みんなに代わって私に撃たせようってこと。言っておくけど、銃声がすれば怖いお兄さんたちが殺到するだろうから、それを恐れて私が発砲しないなんてのは今
Sorry.
じゃあ撃てばいいよ。ただしその一発を撃った後、私の仲間はあんたを八つ咲きにするよ。
望むところよ。人を呪わばなんとやら。おこのぎを屈服させるほどの名将と相打ちならそれも悪くないわね。
撃ちなよ。その代わり絶対私に当てな。私以外の仲間に当ててみろ。あんたを死ぬより辛い目に遭わせてやる。
怖い。
ダメだよ、みーちゃん。高野さんは本気。 の人本当に撃つよ。なんとか時間を稼ぐんですのよ。そうすれば番犬の誰かがきっと。
もちろん。だから
God damn it.
一矢報い
Why do they pause? Why do they pause?
さっくり一発撃た
So many times this has happened this fucking video. God damn it!
さーて
Of course.
どこに当たるかしらね。下手くそだからどこに当たっても許してね。
本気ですか？
みんな動くんじゃないよ。私は部長さ。みんなを背中に守れるならこんなに嬉しいことはないね。もし当たりどころが悪かった時はさ部活ロッカーの中に神棚を作って私を軍神と称えてよ。次期部長はケイちゃんね。みんなそん時は後をよろしく。
Mion is prepared to die. I'm already cornered. I won't accept any words of negotiation. Mion understands that. She doesn't want anyone else to be killed. That was why she chose to be a shield for her friends. That was an easy decision to make for her. Because none of her friends would end up hurt. If she ends up just getting injured, that would be a stroke of luck as far as she's concerned. Even if she doesn't make it, she thinks that's far better than seeing any of her friends die. And that's why Takano will shoot. Even though she understands Mion's noble intentions painfully well, it's too visceral for her to accept, so she will shoot. I will pull the trigger. Oh my god, words! I've drank quite a bit, everybody. Oh my god. Clearly, I've not drinking much water. With all the absurdities of the human world riding on the bullet, I will shoot her.
あなたたちよくゲームはするわよね。トランプのババ抜きはやる？
Yes, we have.
やらないね。
No.
うちはジジ抜きばっかだよ。
Oh yeah, that.
同じようなルールよ。人の世の罪はババ抜きと同じ。誰もが一枚のババを互いに押し付け合う。それは勝者を求めるゲームではなく、一人の敗者と生贄を決めるゲーム。私はそのババを引いた。そのカードをもう渡す相手がいない。だからその腹いせにあなたを撃つの。不条理な人の世らしくね。
I'm preparing myself to shoot. There's no hesitation left in me. I will shoot her. I'm serious. Mion closed her eyes and opened her arms to try and shield her friends as much as she could. And that was when Hanyū stepped forward and placed herself in front of Mion.
羽生、危ないから下がって。
勇敢なるミオン、あなたの勇気はそれで十分です。人の世のババ抜きが必ず人に押し付けられなければならないものならば、それを引き受けるのが私の役目。
羽生、あんた何を？
私も部活メンバーに加われてよかった。この世界はすごく楽しかったです。私も部活メンバーに加われてよかった。見ているだけじゃなく、加わる部活は本当に楽しかった。ありがとう。もう十分に楽しんだ。神の身には
過ぎたくらいに幸せだった。
In that moment, Hanyū glared at me adamantly.
さあ撃て、
お
人の子よ。人の世の押し付けずには済まぬ罪を放て。それを受け止めてやる。
わかったわ。わかったわかったわかったなら死ね。
The club members must have thought I was joking or bluffing. They didn't think that I would actually shoot. There was a noise like something exploding. In a world where time became as sticky as syrup, we saw it happen. The silver bullet hitting an invisible wall in front of Hanyū, as though the wall was protecting her. The bullet wanted to pierce Hanyū's chest, but it couldn't reach its goal. A bead of sweat formed on Hanyū's forehead. She had stopped the bullet with an invisible force.
大丈夫です。人の身でもこれくらいのことはできますです。
The silver bullet was being pushed back. Takano was startled by this otherworldly phenomenon. But then she spoke one phrase. Oh?
この化け物が。
Well, that's quite rude. Oh my god. The silver bullet smashed through that invisible wall. There was no longer a wall at all. There was no wall to protect Hanyū from the bullet. The bullet approached Hanyū's chest. Somebody let out a silent scream. Nobody could stop it. Nobody could stop that bullet. In that world of frozen time, nobody could stop the bullet that was stopped just inches in front of Hanyū's chest. Hanyū's friends had seen the scene before. The moment of checkmate. No matter how much they screamed, there was no way to avoid this tragedy. They knew that from their memories.
あなたは死ぬ。絶対死ぬ。好きなだけ走馬灯をご覧なさい。それが終わったら胸板をぶち抜かれて血をばらまいて、自分の血で溺れてのたうち回って死になさい。
その覚悟がなかったら僕はミオンの前になんか出ないのです。
Hanyū thought that this would take care of everything. Hanyū wasn't supposed to exist in the first place. She would leave the stage, and the rest of the cast would stay unharmed. This is how it's supposed to be. But in that moment, something happened to surprise even Hanyū. In the world of frozen time, in which nobody could move, Rika reached out and put her hand on the bullet that was stopped in midair. Huh? How could she move? Even Hanyū couldn't move. Why could a mere human like Rika grab that bullet? Oh my god, it went off screen!
それを驚くのはおかしいわ。あんたと学んできたんじゃない。奇跡の起こし方。今日何度もすごいことが起こったけれど、本当の奇跡なんて何一つ起こしちゃいないわ。すべて死んじゃえば起こって当然のことだった。だからこの最後の瞬間に本当の奇跡を使うわ。私お社様の生まれ変わりだしね。最後にこの程度の奇跡は使わせて。
Rika rubbed the frozen bullet gently, ever very gently, and then held it and embraced it lovingly, her hands at her chest. In that world where not even Hanyū could move.
高野も羽生も人の話を聞かないやつだってことも分かったわ。ミオンの話を聞いてた？私たちはババ抜きなんてやらないわ。ジジ抜きしかやらない。それを高野は同じようなゲームだと笑ったけど、全然違うゲームなのよ。
An old maid, a single joker, an unharmonized element is added to a full harmonized set of cards, and people try to foist it onto another. But an old bachelor, one card is removed from that harmonized world, and everyone foists the unharmonized fragments on each other. It's different than having a joker, because everything would be in harmony if there wasn't something missing. Players try to get rid of something in both games, but what they try to get rid of is very different.
ジジ抜きも同じ。敗者の手元に1枚カードが残って終わる。それを高野が同じだと例えた気持ちはよくわかるわ。でもね、違うの。だってジジ抜きは。
If the missing card was added back in, there would be no loser. Hanyū, the missing card in this world, where someone has to foist their sins onto another, has joined the game. So this game has no losers. Yet, they are still trying to take one card away. What a waste of a miracle.
敗者なんか、この世界にいらない。これが、フルデリカが、奇跡を求めた1000年の旅の最後に、たどり着いた答えよ。
The answer has always been there. It was there in the very first game of Mion's club. There was always a loser because we were playing a game of cards with one missing. If we could fill in for the missing card by believing each other and helping each other, then it would complete a full deck of 52 cards. A complete world without a loser. A complete world where no one is left out. Nobody has to stay out of the circle. Nobody has to cry or be burdened with sins. A world where everyone holds each other's hands and forgives each other's sins. When people live, there will be a sin. What's important isn't to avoid sins, but to forgive them. A world can only become ugly and twisted when people try to stay pure. Let us accept our sins. Let us all forgive. That's the answer Rika Furude reached. A complete world. A world free from the sins of the human world. Where one has to become a loser. Rika reached that as a human being. After an unbelievably long time, she finally reached it. Welcome home, Mother. The frozen time had begun to thaw. There was smoke coming from the muzzle of Takano's gun, so it was definitely fired. However, nobody got hit. Keiichi looked around fearfully to make sure nobody was bleeding. They were all fine. Nobody had been shot.
外しやがった。
邪魔はないね。
The tension lifted in Mion's body and she began to sweat all over.
外すなんて。
All the club members thought the same thing. It was a miracle that the bullet didn't hit anyone. The club members had all felt the same way. They were all thinking, if it's going to hit someone, let it hit me. However, Rika Furude wished for a miracle that was far beyond that. Rika wished for a miracle that was higher than self-sacrifice. She wished for a world where the bullet wouldn't hit anyone. She wished for a world where Takano wouldn't be hurt because she shot someone. Footsteps were rushing towards them. Takano tried to run, but she tripped over a root, and the scrapbook in her hand scattered everywhere. As she tried to gather up the papers, members of the Bloodhounds surrounded her. All the Bloodhounds pointed their guns her way, and some even poked her with them. But Takano still didn't stop gathering up the papers. Some of the men stepped on the papers, and Takano tried to pull them out from under them. She tried to pull them out, begging them in tears not to step on her precious papers.
Takano-san, あなたを逮捕します。
Well, that's certainly different from the anime, huh? Sheesh.
私が全部悪いことになるのよね。
The club members, feeling bad for her, looked at the ground.
立て、両手を後ろに回せ。こら、抵抗するな。
いや、いやよいや、おじいちゃんのスクラップ持ってくの。いや。
Takano just wanted to pick up the pages of her scrapbook. But the Bloodhounds, thinking that she's just resisting, pulled on her hair, Jesus Christ, to try to make her stand up. Although this was her fate, it was too hard to watch her be treated that way. And then a noble voice resounded among them.
待て!
Radiating with divine light, a man appeared. They all knew this man very well, but they had never seen him look so determined.
調査部の富武2位だ。彼女は調査部が保護する。しかし、富武2位、司令部から直ちに東京へ連行せよと命令を受けています。君たちは彼女を見て気づかないのか。彼女の全身を見ろ。かきむしった後でいっぱいじゃないか。Hinamizawa症候群のかなり高いレベルの発症が疑われる。
There were lots of horrible scars on her wrists, arms, and neck. Well, that's in line with the anime right there. Takano had scratched herself throughout the day because of all the stress. There was no way for anyone to be certain if those were marks of the symptoms of the syndrome. But when Tamatake said that, it certainly sounded true.
しかし、サンサは入江機関で予防薬の投与を受けているはずです。発症するわけがありません。君たちは資料をちゃんと読んでいるのか。予防薬は 100% の効果を保証するものではないと書いてあるぞ。十分読んでいれば彼女の状態が末期症状であるとわかるはずだ。調査部は彼女の尋問にあたり、Hinamizawa症候群の治療が最優先されると考える。そもそも今回の事件が彼女の意思に基づくものなのか、末期発症による妄想、錯乱によって引き起こされ、それを誰かが利用したのか。慎重な判断がなくては、全容解明は不可能であると考える。彼女の罪なのか、彼女の病んだ病の罪なのか、この場で断言するのは不可能だ。それを判断するためにも、彼女には治療を受ける権利があり、義務がある。
次郎さん。
彼女を直ちに入江機関本部へ移送し、発症レベルの検査に入る。高野3佐の治療体制を準備させるよう入江2佐に連絡を。ただし3佐については今後厳重に監視をつけ、すべての行動には制限が加えられるものとする。詳細は調査部長岡一佐から上級司令部を通して命令があるはずだ。
The bloodhounds conveyed all this information over the radio. Nobody had any objections. Their job was to arrest her, after all. Any interrogations or investigations after that were the job of investigations. Huh? Oh, I think that was meant to say something else, but whatever. So if those were the orders from investigations, then that was that. Or maybe not, never mind. I get what it's trying to say. Anyways, Tamatake walked over to the muddy figure of Takano. Okay, Jesus Christ. Takano buried her face in Tamatake's chest and cried. Only Tamatake and Takano knew the meaning of those tears.
遅くなったね。君を迎えに来たよ。君がそうだと思っているような悪い人じゃないんだ。やり直そう。今度こそ君の本当の人生を。
できない。私、いっぱい罪にまみれた。やり直したりなんかしちゃいけない。死ななきゃいけない。じゃなきゃ。私は自分の罪の重さで。
そうだね。君の罪は、ひょっとすると軽いものじゃないかもしれない。でも大丈夫。僕が一緒だから。だから一緒に償おう。高野美代の罪を償おう。そして、僕と一緒に、田無美代子を取り戻そう。その日まで、僕は決して君のそばを離れない。
生きてていいの？私は生きてていいの？みんながお前が死ねば丸く収まるって私に言うよ。それでも私は生きてていいの？それでも次郎さん、生きててもいいって言うの？それでも私は許してもらえるの？
世界は君を許さないかもしれない。でもそれが何だってんだい。僕が君を許すよ。だから生きよう。死ぬことは罪の償いにはならない。生きて償い、世界に許しを請おう。そしてやり直すんだ。そうしたらきっと思い出せる。君が本当はどんな人で、どんな風な笑顔を浮かべていたかをね。
After a while, Takano was taken to the Erie Institute in handcuffs. She was, however, handcuffed with her hands in front of her. She was holding the scrapbook. Tamatake had cleaned the mud off of it. The downpour from the early afternoon had passed. The cicadas began singing again, and again and again, reminding everything that this was a normal June in Hinamizawa. It was so hot, despite being June, and the sky was brilliantly clear. Someone asked someone else the time. She looked at her watch. It was 3 p.m. The Watanagashi festival would be starting at 5. It was almost time. Even from there, the Furude shrine could be seen. There were red lanterns hanging all over. Once the sun went down, those lanterns would be lit. It was almost time for the Watanagashi festival. And with that, everything would end when the Higurashi cry, the game that stretched across different worlds, had ended, and what the winner obtained after their victory is that the game ended without a loser. Hanyū was prepared to leave after the game was over, but she was still there. She was allowed to be there. In other words, she wasn't the card that was taken away. The card that was taken to play their game of Old Bachelor was no longer there. The breeze rustled Hanyū's sweaty, messed up hair. He was dumbfounded. Rika went over and stood next to her. She didn't need to say anything. She only smiled at Hanyū. That girl had pretended to be a bystander, but decided to step onto the stage, and then she thought that was enough, and tried to step off of it. With those memories of her bright time on stage, she tried to step off, but someone grabbed her sleeve and stopped her. She was told that she could stay. Then she realized she was still on the stage, and she didn't have to leave after all. There was a spot for her on the stage, and she was no longer a bystander. And that was an unbelievable miracle. She didn't even exist in the script. Nobody needed her to be there. But the miracle had allowed her to stay.
あれだけ苦労した旅だったのです。その程度の奇跡じゃちょっと足りない気もしますですよ。見たー。あ、はわわ十分ですよ。こんな奇跡、僕の身には十分すぎて。
Rika smiled at Hanyū one more time, and passed her what was in her right hand. Hanyū felt something cold and hard. What was it? Hanyū slowly opened her hand and looked at it. It was the bullet Takano had fired. This was the proof of their miracle. It was the proof that Hanyū could exist there. It was the proof that they could be together forever and ever.
もうすぐ暗くなってお祭りの時間になりますです。はあ、みんなで楽しくお祭りで部活なのです。もう脇で見てることなんかできませんです。きっと新人いじめの洗礼で罰ゲーム三昧でかわいそかわいそなのです。もう綿流しのお祭り見てるだけじゃないのですね。そうです。だってお祭りは見るものじゃなくて加わるものですよ。
Were they testing the speakers? It was still bright outside, but there was music playing already. The cheap, dubbed BGM collection of festival music, I'm sorry, I had to laugh at that, could be heard from the Furude Shrine in the distance. A little bit fourth wall breaking. It sounded so exciting to her. This was what she had wanted to join in on all this time. Rika held her hand. Let's go together. Let's go to the Watanagashi festival. All of us. Together. Yeah. They had almost too much energy left. It had been a long day, and many things had happened, but they still had the energy to go to the festival. It was, after all, the special day of Watanagashi. The curse of Oyashiro-sama had been lifted, and no tragedy would ever occur again. It was the first peaceful Watanagashi, the first one without a tragedy since the dam conflict. The villagers had noticed that the phone lines were disconnected during the day, but it was fixed so quickly that they didn't pay much attention. They heard the self-defense force helicopter near the mountains, but rumor had it that they came to the wrong place for their training. The elderly villagers laughed and said that the young men of the National Defense Force need to pay more attention. Classic. Those damn young whippersnappers! Some people say the self-defense force even came to the Erie Clinic. Huh? The villagers didn't even get suspicious about that. They assumed that the Erie Clinic had started doing physical checkups for the SDF. Okay. I would find that a little odd. Because, you know, it's a small village in the middle of nowhere, basically. But okay, yeah, sure. Right? Like, why would that be a thing? There were pieces of broken glass on the roadside and near the village border, as if there was an accident. Some people wondered how anyone could have had an accident when there was no obstruction on the road. The elderly people said to each other that they always had to drive carefully, even on a familiar road. But it looked only like a trace of normal accident. So they didn't get suspicious. The rest was a ghost story. The villagers heard an extra firework to signal the festival taking place. It wasn't an echo. The people in charge of the fireworks were puzzled. Oh, they're talking about the door breaching from the Sonozaki residence. Yeah, okay. Well, they actually did hear it, but they were just a little confused. They weren't alarmed or anything. Classic. They were puzzled, but when Rika said Oyashiro-sama must have shot the extra firework, the villagers simply believed that was true. Classic. It was the night of Watanagashi, the biggest festival of the year. The villagers forgot their worries and they enjoyed themselves. The club members were doing great as usual. Jesus Christ, give a guy a flashing warning. God damn. Did I say flashing or slashing? I don't know anymore. I'm slurring my own words because I've been recording for nearly 2 hours straight. My God, I haven't done that in years. Mind you, I haven't done that, I think, in like literally 2 or 3 years. Like, holy shit, I've always taken like little breaks in between, you know? But damn. I felt this was the end, so I figured, why not just go for it? They were doing so great that they were all taken to the main tent and yelled at by the mayor. That was the normal Watanagashi night for the villagers. But there was one thing that was very different. The girls fought for an unimaginably long time in many different worlds for the sake of this night. However, nobody would ever know that. Huh? Oh, there was another big change too. Rika Furude said that she wants to go to a pool in the summer. It's unusual for her to say she wants to do something. She wants to see the stars. She wants to go on a camping trip. She wants to look at the sunflowers. She wants to make the school into a haunted house, etc. There are so many things she wants to do over the summer break. Right. Rika Furude, for the first time, is making plans for after June 1983. Because this is the first summer break she's going to experience after 100 years of repeating the same life. She will now experience an all-new summer vacation. Who would stop her from getting excited about that? Rika Furude is looking forward to waking up before Satoko to rip the page off the calendar at the end of June. Rika Furude's infinite future has begun. There were infinite possibilities, yet she can only make one choice. But that's why it's a great world. Let's talk for a moment about the people who fought with Rika Furude. Mion Sonozaki has vowed to study hard so she can continue her education after the summer break. According to Keiichi, even that may not be enough time for her. However, how can the legendary club member, Mion Sonozaki, fail an entrance exam? She will more than likely find a way to get into the school she wants to go to. Hopefully, it isn't an illegal one. Wait, what? What do you mean by that? Well, whatever. Anyhow, she's looking forward to enjoying her final summer break, so she has tons of plans. The club members can't get away from Mion, even during the summer. Once you are invited with her... No, sorry. I should take a break, right? But no, I can tell we are like literally like maybe 10 minutes away, man. I can't end it here. I can't. Sorry. Once you are involved with her, she will always find a way to get at you. No matter how much you want to be alone, you will never go back to spending a boring summer by yourself. Keiichi Maebara has been asked by Mion and Chia-sensei to be their next class president. He was also asked to be the next club leader, but he declined immediately. Keiichi likes the club because Mion runs it. He continued saying that it's Mion's club until she got mad. Keiichi can't understand why she's so angry. Well, Keiichi wouldn't be Keiichi if he wasn't dense. Exactly. So things are rather lively around him again today. His good name continues to spread even in Okonomiya. Rena Ryugu is growing more energetic every day too. Satoko, Rika, and Hanyū spend every day in fear of being abducted by her. Of course. Still, she's been acting more mature lately. She takes care of her younger classmates, and she's almost like a mother figure to the class. She is like a mother to all the club members too. After hearing that, Keiichi said that he'd be the father of the class. As usual, Rena thought about that too much and blushed. Satoko Hojo is as lively as ever. She used up most of her traps on the mountain during the battle with the mountain dogs, so she's setting up new ones for the next event. Okay. Rumor has it that some members of the Bloodhounds were so impressed with her trap techniques that they asked her for some lessons. Give me a fucking break. There is supposed to be a trading area near Fount. Yes, Fount. I'm tired, y'all. Help! There's supposed to be a trading area near Mount Fuji, and they asked her to set up the traps there. That's not a very good idea. The sea of trees really will become a forest of no return. Either way, Satoko keeps saying how she wants to fight against the Bloodhounds next. She's invincible. Also, she's become a great cook. That's because Hanyū has been teaching her. God damn! According to Hanyū, Satoko is a quick learner as compared to Rika. Satoko's dream is to master fried chicken. Why? Which is her brother's favorite. Oh. Well, that answered that quickly. And welcome him home with it. I'm the only one who knows this, but her dream may come true very soon. As for her brother, Satoshi Hojo has yet to return home. His condition is unchanged. If there's been any change, it's in Shion Zanasaki. She goes to the clinic on her off days. Nobody knows why she goes there, but she seems to be very happy, so nobody pays much attention to it. Mion has teased Shion by saying that maybe she's planning on getting implants. God damn it. But Shion just smiles. Also, for whatever reason, she's been visiting her relative's clothes shop and buying all kinds of men's clothing. Lately, she started buying more than just men's clothing, but why is she so excited when she visits the clinic with a maid outfit that's not in her size? What the fuck? Bro! I hope... no! Please! Oh my god. No. I can't. The truth is shrouded in mystery. It's better served that way. It's, leave it in a mystery, man. Just leave it. Just fucking leave it, man, please. The biggest change is probably that Shion babies Satoko nowadays. She tries to make Satoko call her Nini, which only annoys Satoko. Kyosuke Iri has two jobs now. On one hand, he is a respected doctor, and on the other hand, he is an evangelist for maids. Oh my god. The Iri clinic was supposed to be closed, but the villagers pleaded with the authorities not to shut it down. While Iri isn't originally from the village, he and everyone else feel that he's one of the villagers now. He's an indispensable part of the village life. The conservative attitude toward Hinamizawa syndrome is gone, and now it is being researched very proactively. The syndrome is being researched so passionately that, hopefully, in the near future, all the victims of this disease will be freed for good. Yay! Also, later on, Iri will publish an advanced article about the influence of the brain on human behavior, which will surprise people in the medical world. I won't go into the details here, but it will talk about how one should hate the sins instead of the sinner. The deceased Hifumi Takano and Mio Takano's names will be mentioned in that article. Jiro Tamatake still visits Hinamizawa every season. He is still known as the fighter. Not the fighter, the fighting. I don't know why that's even in there. Oh, well, whatever. Traveling photographer. And he continues to walk around the village looking for good picture spots. However, he isn't seen in the village as much as before. His bicycle is always parked around the back of the clinic, so maybe he spends a lot of time there. Some villagers say maybe he's sick and being treated, but his bright smile proves they are wrong. Mio Takano hasn't been seen since that day. Nobody knows where she has gone, but obviously Tamatake isn't worried, so she must be doing fine. She will probably show up one day out of nowhere, and start telling ghost stories to scare some kids. She's being treated too there, huh? As for... how do you say this name again? Mamoru? Mamoru? Yeah. Akasaka? What happened to him was pretty funny. His wife and daughter followed him in secret. They pretended to run into him at the festival. Rika called him Papa. Oh my. Hashtag weird. So things grew complicated all of a sudden. Yeah, of course they grew complicated. Like, okay. Akasaka's wife smiled, but she choked his neck with her braided hair. What the Hold the... What? What? Huh? Her arms were folded, but her braid moved like a tail. Sure, whatever. Yeah, sure. He tortured a man who destroyed a special forces unit without even using a weapon. Rika continued to tease him, making the situation even worse. However, Akasaka's family liked Hinamizawa and they said they wanted to come back. Akasaka's daughter and Rika grew so close that they seemed like sisters. Aww. Furude Oishi has gotten back into playing mahjong. For whatever reason, Akane Zanazaki has joined his table too, and there's rumors a riot squad almost got dispatched to the mahjong parlor one time. Why? Oh my god. Ridiculous! Come on. His colleagues say Oishi has calmed it down quite a bit. It's probably because he has reached closure within himself. But his colleagues know nothing about that. He's planning to move to Hokkaido. Really? Huh. When he retires. But he wants to come back every summer. His bright second life is awaiting for him. Tatsuyoshi Kasai hasn't changed much compared to the others. To some people, this was a life-changing event, but for Kasai, it was just another episode added to his tales of heroics. According to Kasai, this incident was just a little bigger than usual. I'd say. If this was just a little unusual, then what in the world would be needed to impress him? Shion insists that he will tell her, but Kasai only tells her that that's a secret. Also, he regretted exposing that part of his past. Shion keeps begging him to tell her all about it, but he simply ignores her. Sad. Let me talk about myself too. I, Hanyū, am doing great in my new life as Hanyū Furude. Aw. I'm finally getting better at playing games, and now I'm taking the role of the club's dark horse, a position formerly reserved for Keiichi Maebara. I have a bad habit of believing everything I hear, so Mion and the others always tell me some strange things. Thanks to that, I am getting tougher, to put it in a good way. Shrewd, to put it in a bad one. But then I need to, otherwise I wouldn't survive in this club. I'm going to continue to learn a lot of stuff through these club activities so I can live in this human world. Holy mouthful. Sunday, June 19th, 1983. Night falls on my longest day of the past 1,000 years. The club members are having a blast. A lot of people are here. The stall vendors are still doing business. The speakers are blaring rough yet exciting festival music. I've known all of these. But how wonderful it is to actually feel and hear them in person. I thought I knew. I thought I knew because I've been following and watching them. But that was completely different. I knew of it, but this is the first time I have actually experienced it. We had a takoyaki eating festival. There was no octopus in it, but it was still very tasty. We had a shaved ice eating contest. That sounds bad. Sounds like trouble. Right? Brain freeze. I would have enjoyed the shaved ice if I had eaten it more slowly. Exactly. There you go. I bought a candied apple for the first time. Everyone took a bite from it. It was tasty. And it was fun. We played a shooting game. I didn't know how difficult it would be to shoot a target, but it was fun too. Also, we played a shady lottery game. It was one of those things where you pulled a string and got a prize. Nobody got a good prize. We all complained about it to the vendor. That too was just so much fun. Then it was time for the dedication dance. Of course, we got there early, so we commandeered the best seats. I snuck out and stood where I was told to. I could see better than the other club members. This was the spot where the object of worship sat. Wait, what? Did I read that right? No, that's not what I meant to. No! 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 Log. This was the spot where the object of worship sat. Oh, yeah, okay. This was where I was supposed to be during the ritual dance. No, this was where I thought I had to be. But seeing the dance from that spot wasn't fun. Therefore, I returned to where I was, and sat with everyone else. They saved me a spot. Everyone rubbed my head while asking me where I went. I apologized by saying, are you? Or is it ow, ow? Whatever. That made me very happy. I watched the performance in the crowd of people. It was the best dance I've witnessed in the past 1,000 years. I couldn't keep either my happiness or my tears from flowing out. After the dance was over, a handful of cotton was passed around to all the villagers. We let the cotton absorb all the filth and sins of the past year, and washed it down the stream. Cotton is cotton. Obviously, it's not human. We use cotton instead of a human, so that nobody is sad. In other words, this is a way to purify sins without making anyone suffer.
はい、これ。羽生ちゃんの綿だよ。やり方わかる？わかりますのです。こうして、ポンポンしてから流すのですよ。あんあん。
The girl who gave me the cotton took the letter I from her name during last year's Watanagashi and washed it down the stream. By doing so, she was freed from her suffering and began a new life. We drifted our sins down the stream. It's not the same as pushing our sins onto the cotton. Instead, we wash away our own sins and forgive ourselves. We forgive each other, we help each other, and that's how we create our own story. I put my cotton in the stream gently. The cotton went down the stream, into the world where sins are cleansed. I let my bare feet soak in the clear stream, as I watched the long, long line of cotton flowing downstream in the dark, surrounded by people sending their cotton flowing down the wondrous stream. This is a complete world where all the fragments were put together. This is an ideal world. What else is there? What else do you need? I knew Furude still wants more, because we can be even happier than this. We can be happier if we wish to be. Not a long time from now, but in the near future. Then, when is it? I told you, it's in the near future. We will be happy then too. See? Everyone is entitled to happiness. The difficult part is accepting that. Everyone is entitled to happiness. The difficult part is fulfilling that. Okay. Oh, Frederica. Oh, Bernkastel. Yeah. If you haven't gone over to Umaneko, I advise you to do that. That the end? Credits? Hello? Something? I'm just seeing a black screen. I don't know what's happening. Help! Oh, there we go. A report on the coup d'etat at the Erie Institute proposal regarding the coup d'etat at the Erie Institute. Oh, okay. One of the responsibilities of the Erie Institute, herefore named the Institute, was the Ministries of the North. I can't read all this in time. Y'all are just gonna have to pause and read on your own accord, okay? And there you have it, folks. That was the ending to Higurashi, When They Cry, Matsuribayashi. Whew. God damn. I finally finished it. After so fucking long, I finally finished it. I took a lot of hiatuses. I put it on pause. So many times. I sincerely apologize about that. But I can now finally say that I have completed Higurashi. Whew. Now I can go watch the anime of how. Is that how it's pronounced? Or is that how? I don't know. Whatever. But yeah. That's gonna be fun. What can I say? It has been a long journey. Certainly has. I even went over and done Umineko before I even could have finished this. So, that was a little weird of me to do that, but hey, it made me realize a few things. And, yeah, if you stuck around through all of that and all of this leading up into this moment right here, right now, then y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And I'm kind of glad I did that. Just a little bit. I'm kind of glad I stopped doing Higurashi just for a little bit to do Umineko and then come back to finish Higurashi, because it makes me understand everything between the two. There are some things that are tied between the two, and it's just perfect. It's great. I like to see the little nods of the head, you know, between the two. Anyways, I'm actually kind of sad that this is over. I was hoping this is going to go for another month. I did not expect this to end in one session. Not gonna lie, I was desperately thinking of ending it, like breaking up the recordings into like 2 or 3 parts. But I knew deep down in my heart this was gonna be it. This is gonna be the finale after like 10 minutes of going into this video. And I figured, why not just do a one-sitter, just do a whole one-sitter, like one session recording, and that'll be it. And after 2 hours and 19 fucking minutes, I can finally say we have gotten through Higurashi. Oh my god. Anyways, enough of the theatrics. So now off to the next part of this whole thing is me deciding what to do next. All right. I have stated that after Higurashi, I do really do want to deep down begin and start up Phoenix Wright. But some of you have voiced that you really want me to do Corpse Party. So, I have taken it upon myself to just do just that. I will push aside Phoenix Wright for Corpse Party. So, yes, there will be no voting poll because quite a few of you have voiced your concerns about me continuing Corpse Party. So I will do just that and replace Higurashi with Corpse Party. So I will be, just forewarning right now, I usually like to take a break after finishing a series. But I have started doing the Coffin of Andy and Lele. So I will be still doing that. But I will be doing just that for the next week or two. Alright? So, for the next week or two, I will be just doing the coffin of Andy and Lele. And I will be trying my best to get 2 videos of those a week up on my channel. If not, then it's only going to be 1. Unfortunately, my scheduling is a little fucked up at this moment. But I should be able to do 2. If something pops up, though, then I can't. So, only 1 video. But regardless, for 1 week or 2, I will be taking a break from doing a second series. So you're only going to be getting 1, which is what I just stated, the coffin of Andy and Lele. But after that, and I will notify you via post on the community tab on my YouTube channel, that I will let you all know when the corpse party video will be up and my schedule and such. So yeah, stay tuned for that within the next week or 2. But yeah. Thanks for joining me in finishing Higurashi. Great story. Loved this alongside with Umineko. I can't decide which one is better than the other, because deep down, I have literally grown up with Higurashi. It's one of the very first animes that I've ever watched. Like, literally the very first animes ever. So yeah, it's like stuck in my heart, man. It's there, man. It will always be there. Nothing will ever take its place as. Well, I don't know what I was about to say. My mind went blank. I don't know why. I'm tired. I'm tired and I'm rambling. I'm so sorry. I'm making this even longer of a video than it has to be. Son of a bitch. Oh, you can probably hear me just so drowsy and tired. Oh god. Yeah. I should just stop, right? Thank you. Thank all of you who watched all the way through. Or even thank you for those who have only, begun part ways through, or even on this lone video here. Thank you for watching. And thank you, Ryukishi07, for Higurashi and Umineko and such. Obviously, there is a 3rd series, but that has halted because of certain circumstances, such as COVID and, well, not just COVID, not COVID specifically, but the war over there. Yeah, he kind of had to put a stop to developing that series because of the unfortunate wars over there. Yeah. Well, hopefully one day maybe he can make a return. But for now, he's focusing on Silent Hill stuff or whatever projects he's doing, which is pretty cool. I saw that. That was last year, though, right? Anyways. Great stuff. Yeah, one of the best visual novels, by far. One of the very best. Yeah, I think I'm done rambling now. I'm blanking out on what I want to say now. I gotta go. I am tired. Y'all have no idea. It's almost 3 a.m. for me. I'm going. So yeah, I've given you all the updates and everything. Thank you for watching. I will get to Corpse Party when I can. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, stay tuned for the coffin of Andy and Lele as well. And yeah, stick around for the next video. I'll see you all then. See ya. Bye-bye.